What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
What's up? It's your boy, Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Hey, look, let's start it off the right way. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates, all right? Having said that, man, look, we've had a great week. Marcella said don't date the show, so I won't tell y'all what today is, all right? That's what Marcella said, all right? But anyway, today we're going to have an exciting show. We have Jadonna Mathis with us today, man. She's going to talk about turning tragedy into triumph. You know what I mean? We're going to definitely inspire people today. Like the post said, tragedy will make or break you. How do we change that tragedy into a triumph? What's avoidable? How do we avoid that? You know, what are the steps to make it happen? Okay. Our guest is going to help us out on that. All right. Everybody say what's up. Gina Gaffney.
What's up, family?
We chilling. We are. You already know. Everybody say what's up to my guy, Mo B. What's up?
What's happening, family?
Man, let's get it amped up, y'all. Let's get it amped up, okay? Life coach.
Hey, Mo.
What's going on?
Hey, coach.
What's good?
Let us amp this up, okay? We're going to have a good show again, man. Everybody goes through things in their life, man. Everybody has problems. Everybody.
Everybody.
If you're human, you got problems, all right? And nobody's oblivious to this, all right? Tragedy is going to come through. I mean, each one of us have had problems in our lives, all right? But the thing is, how do we transform that into something great? You know, our friend Jamie McGraw, his show is just like that. That's why I'm here, right? Turning tragedy into triumph. We might want to get our guest on there, all right? Jamie, if you're watching, you know, hey,
there you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep this upbeat. We're going to keep it exciting, okay?
Yes. Hi. Hey, Marcy.
Hey, what's good?
Am I okay today?
You're okay today, Marcy.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah, look at that there.
Look at Greg. He trying to see. You thought you were gonna have something.
Can we all do what Marcy was doing yesterday?
No.
Don't get me started.
That's y'all something else.
What did you say?
Hey, Marcella, as soon as I see that lag, it's on.
He coming for you.
Marcy, I just have to say, Marcy.
Hey, Marcy.
Yeah.
Just tell her not to laugh too hard. Snot might come out.
I know.
There you go. That's how you got to kind of answer. Snot might
But
come
you know
out
what? The thing about that, no one said anything to me but Jeff. Then you guys finally said something later. And I was like, Jeff, like, sis, you got
I said something before, Jeff. You didn't see my post. I kept saying, Marcy. I said, Marcy, you got a lag. And then I posted again after that.
Okay, the guest is in the green room.
Look at Greg. He can't have no sense.
But, you know, as we're talking today, man, we're talking about turning tragedy into triumph, all right? Shout out to Jamie McGraw. We'll get to his spot in a minute. Marcella, I wanted to say, you know, on this panel, you and Gina probably have had the most tragedies as far as personal that any one of us have had. You know, yes, we have parents that are getting older and they die and this and that. Okay, but you guys have had some things at an early part of your lives, right? Like Marcella, I hope you allow me to mention, you had a situation where your son passed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a tragedy. Okay, how did you get through that? We're going to get these guests on, so we're going to bridge it, and then we can talk about it inside of this conversation.
Okay. You want me to speak
No, I'm
on it
asking
now?
right now.
Okay, God.
I got it, y'all.
God, you got. Oh, am I lagging? Okay, but God was the only one that got me through it. Losing your only child in such a horrific way by racist cops. I had to call on God, and that's the only one that could have gotten me through. And when you hear a lot of people talk about the peace that surpasses all understanding, and they're just talking scripture, and everyone says, oh yeah, I had to live that. And that's exactly what I lived through. And not to say that I don't have my moments even now, years later, because it was 2012. He had 2 children that were very young. His son found out on his birthday, on his 6th birthday, that he lost his dad. So having to maneuver that, having family members and friends tell me something was wrong with me because I wasn't grieving in the way they felt that I should have grieved, was a lot also.
Mm-hmm.
So God has stepped me and is still keeping me.
Absolutely. God bless you, man. Gina, real briefly, see, you've had, your husband died.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to
17
talk
years.
Want to talk about that briefly? You were with him that long, and then all of a sudden you lost him.
Mm-hmm. It was like losing another half of me. But even before then, I had a lot of tragedies, even up to that point, which molded me to the way that I am. I mean, even from childhood, some things that I prefer not to share. They're that personal. But and it's just like Marcy said, you have to lean on the word and lean on God in order to come out of it, or you will be just a wreck. Like some of the things that I had to deal with, even some of my friends said, I don't know how you made it through. It's just that devastating. But if you don't have something to lean on and something to look at to keep you going, that's where people come into suicide. That's where people come into, losing their mind and having mental issues because of those things. I do really believe that your mind has a mechanism that shuts out things that can do that to you, because there's a lot of things during those periods that I can't even remember. There are things through some years of my life. It's like I don't even have that time frame in my mind, because I really believe my mind shut down so that I wouldn't,
let's get into
lose my mind or something.
So let's get into it with the guests. We're going to bring both of your subjects, both of your situations back into play here. Okay, let's bring our guest in here. Okay, first of all, we have Miss Jadonna Mathis. What's going on, BB?
Hi, Jadonna.
Hello.
How are you
What's
guys
going
doing? Hello, everybody.
Awesome.
How are you guys doing?
Have,
it's an honor. It's an honor.
No, it's our honor. Okay, trust me. Okay, we want to inspire people today. We want to encourage people, especially if they're going through some things. Okay, and I think these stories that we have today are just definitely going to inspire. Right? We also have I want to say it right, Tychika Brown. Tychika.
Close. Yep. Tychika.
That's what I said.
Tychika.
Yeah.
Tychika. Okay.
Never correct the host.
You see it? You see it now?
Correct.
Tychika.
Tychika. So I mean, ladies, thank you for coming on and allowing us to be a part of your lives, number one, and sharing your stories of tragedy and triumph. We appreciate you very much. So tell us, give us a brief synopsis, Jadonna. Tell us about what happened to you.
She freeze.
Don't look at me like that.
She froze.
Am I froze?
Yeah, you are frozen.
Yes.
Log off and log back on. Okay, man.
Okay.
All right. Taishika.
So I was here kind of just to support Jadana.
Okay.
But I could tell you guys a little bit about myself. My name is Taishika. I work for Grand Rapids Public Schools. I've been with them for 10 years. I have a 7-year-old son, and I'm just interested to hear the conversations that's taking place today.
Absolutely. We're glad you're sitting in with us and hanging out. Okay. Feel free at any time to chime in and talk about it. I'm quite sure you heard the stories from these two ladies from the team. So we just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, doing our part to inform people and let them know, you can get back, you can bounce back from something that has happened so tragic in your life and become something great. There's a lot of people out there that don't know how to do it. They're stuck. And life coach, you probably have dealt with some people in your experience as a life coach.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shoot, what I always tell people is, I'm big on mindset, so I'm always telling people to kind of train your mind. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff we say we believe in, but then we really don't believe in because we don't fulfill it in our everyday lives. You know what I mean? So whenever tragedy hits, that's when you're truly tested, whether it is with your faith, you know what I mean, with the what do they call those? The little words that you say, the affirmations that you say every day, do you truly believe in those? I feel that you shouldn't wait till tragedy actually strikes in order to be tested. You know what I mean? You have to prep beforehand. So when I talk to a lot of people, I tell them, hey, prep beforehand so you don't have to go through that struggle so you can mentally make it through.
Yeah.
And life coach, I'm gonna need you to interject as much as possible because this is in your wheelhouse. Okay, as far as getting through and getting people to the next level, as far as the journey going from tragedy to triumph. So we're looking forward to hearing a lot from you today. Jadana, you good now? You keep looking at me like that.
Oh no, she's not frozen.
Can't
you hear? Can you hear us?
I can hear everybody.
Oh, and Gina, you on mute. Oh,
yes, she was. We caught her today.
I don't want to sneeze in the microphone.
So Jadana, what we're gonna do?
I can hear everybody.
As she's lagging right now, we're gonna let her tell the beginning part of her story. Okay, we'll just let it go, and then when she stops, we'll be able to come in. All right, Jadana, again, welcome to the show. Taishika is here for some moral support and to chime in when she can as well. But give us a synopsis of what your story is.
I'm 32 years old. My name is Jadana Mathis. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I grew up in the streets of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I was born to a drug addicted mother. Somewhat of what they call a pimp type like father. My father decided to take custody of me when my mom went to prison. I was born in prison. My grandmother eventually took custody of me at 6 months old, and I lived with her up until she passed away when I was about 12 years old. I started writing when I was 10. Writing was just my escape to create new stories of things that was going on in my life. That was my escape. I was able to write about anything. It was crazy as far as just the little things that can inspire me to start writing about anything. Growing up, I always had the highest grade in English and creative writing because creating stories was my go-to thing. I ended up losing pathway when my grandmother passed away. A lot of things went left. As far as that, like I wrote so much as far as just writing created a new pathway for me. I had anger issues. I grew up just mad at the world. I really did. I was the shortest in my class, the smartest, but growing up in the streets, being the smartest didn't get you the credit that you needed to survive. So once my grandmother passed away, I kind of let school go. I regret it to this day. I tell kids all the time and people all the time, if I could go back, anybody that know me, my main thing is if I can go back and change what happened to me in 2002, I'd be a better person today. Um, Writing just gave me an escape from everything that I had experienced, from molestation, neglect, abandonment of my mother. My father always been in my life, but we didn't live in the same household, so that kind of bothered me too. Just growing up, I got picked on a lot, being small, and I went from the kid being picked on to being the bully, to being the gang member, the drug dealer, the person that everybody said wasn't going to graduate high school, or I wasn't going to make it past a certain age. Um, I got told all the time I wouldn't see 21, and then I seen 21. Then I got told I wouldn't see 25, and then I seen 25. I got told I wasn't going to see 30. I made 30. I'll be 33 in 2 weeks.
Amen.
And it's so much stuff that I've done. I wasn't a big time drug dealer, but I did what I did to survive. Being 15 years old, buying your own school clothes. Don't get me wrong, I had a good family that took me in. My mom's sisters and her mom, they took me in, but being around and going to the school that I went to, you had a certain presentation that you had to have. And I grew up around older men and women, so it was just more like, how I go, like we can't afford that. You ain't getting that. Them $70, $80 shoes, and I couldn't get that. So when I met a certain group of friends, I felt the love that I never felt before. And then they put me on to do things that I never did before. I never had a family, even though I had a family, but I never had a family my age to grow up with. So I took in with a group of boys, and my neighbors would say to my auntie that had custody of me at the time, "Oh, you let her hang with these boys, and you think she not doing this?" Like, neighbor thought I was sleeping with all these boys, but it was never that. It was just like a void they felt for me. So I started writing, and I would write, and I would write these stories, and I would create these stories, and I would just write. Like, people ask me all the time, like, how can you write these type of stories? Really,
She froze a little bit. Jeff, what do you think about that story so far?
Man, I love how she used the word escape. You know, she found she found and used writing as an escape, but she turned it and she used it as a coping mechanism, not in a negative way. You know what I mean? She flipped it around into a positive light. You know what I mean? For change, and that's sometimes that stuff that we don't do. You know, we don't end up using that coping mechanism for change. We end up using it to go down a different path, and she didn't end up doing that. You know.
That's good.
Okay, we're having some technical difficulties with the Jadana's feed right now. Jadana, we don't hear you at all right now, and you did freeze up. Chichiki, you know a little bit about her story?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah. So, I can't really recall when we met, but a couple of the boys that she hung around, two of them was my brother, and then I know her and my sister ended up getting close, and they ended up being best friends.
Go ahead.
Okay, and so yeah, like I don't read before she even got her books published. I don't read all her books, even like the her and her daughter got a kid book out. So I read all of her books, but I just she logged off. I wanted to tell her though, um, I'm proud of her, because a lot of us could just, I mean, I'm not gonna say everybody, but like I could speak for myself. Like I was the first one in my family out of 8 to graduate from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was the first one to graduate from college. And it's hard because you have to, especially when you're the first one, you got to find your way. Excuse me, I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
It's okay, baby.
All right, girl.
Yep.
Tell your story.
It's all right. Yes.
So I just wanted to let her know I'm proud of her. Commend her for keep going and not giving up, even though, it's times that you do want to give up. And I think that's why I ended up going into the field of working with kids.
Mm.
So, like, one of the schools that I work at right now in Grand Rapids is kind of like the toughest school or whatever. And I just feel like a lot of our kids don't get that chance to prove themselves. A lot of them come from trauma. And then we got a lot of babies raising babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think it's worth going through the struggle to get to where you have to go.
Absolutely. And don't feel bad. You don't ever have to apologize about having emotions on the show. Okay, we're good with that. We're definitely good with that. So that's a compelling story. All right. And again, because me personally, I did not know that she was an author. All right. So that's even more of a testimony as to how far she's come. All right. And we cannot let the tragedy take us over. Now, she mentioned about, looking back about some things. I'm a firm believer that if you look back, that's where you're going to stay. All right. That's just me.
That's
but
me too.
Yep.
Yeah. But she looked back and thank God she did not stay. She wanted to realize the things that happened to her as to the situation that got her where she's at. But thank God, because a lot of people look back and that's where they're going to be. All right. So we're really happy that she's doing what she's doing. And I hope she can get this feed together so we can have some more conversation. But Jadonna, you got another location. You good?
Yeah, I hope this work. I really apologize, y'all. I thought it was gonna be good.
That's a lot better, though.
Yeah.
It is a lot better.
Thank you.
So-
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. You're good.
Don't apologize. We got you. So definitely, you can pick up where you left off. Okay, but I want to know at what point did you get to, because everybody gets to a low point. What point made you say, "Hey, I got to turn this stuff around. I got to make a difference in my life and other people's lives that are involved with me"? What point got you? What got you to that point?
It took a while because writing was my hobby. It wasn't never meant to be my career.
Wow.
I never looked at it like that. It was my escape from what I was doing and everything. It was more so when my child's father, my fiance at the time, went to prison for murder, that I had to realize, like, my house got raided, so much stuff that I worked so hard for got taken away from me. And I had to realize, like, I got a daughter now. So I had to stop selling drugs. That day, August 9th of 2015, was the day I turned my life around. My house got raided and I flushed everything. And I haven't looked back since. It haven't been easy. It's been hard trying to do it the legit way. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Because I'm used to having everything at my fingertips. But that was my turning point. Because if we both go to jail, then she gonna end up just like we did. She's not gonna have a parent. And we both grew up with just one parent. It's emotional, but like we both grew up with one parent. And I chose that route to not let her do like I did. I was passed around like a piece of paper. I couldn't wait to turn 18 to be my own guardian because in the Black community, people don't just take custody of you because they love you. And it's sad. You got some people that love you and want to see you. Then you got some people They feel they're gonna get a check or they gonna do this and they gonna do that. I didn't want my daughter to experience that. I
So you
bounced around a lot.
so you stopped this. You didn't continue that circle. You're the one that's gonna stand right here and change that.
Exactly. You broke the cycle.
Right.
That's a whew, boy, that's
yeah,
powerful, ain't it? It's something.
Yeah.
God.
Breaking that cycle and being the first to do that right there, just like Ms. Brown was talking about, that right there in itself is something, that you must, without a doubt, could, make sure you follow through and continue, because the example is sitting right there next to you, like I always tell my my guys, I always tell them, hey, look, you're a God, and remember that child sitting right next to you is going to, she or he is going to look at you as God until they figure out that, hey, I can talk and walk and be on my own. And guess what? You want them to follow your, your actions without having to worry about if they're going to continue that cycle. You know what I'm saying?
But check this out. What really impresses me is this, okay? Because the streets got a hold on people. They get a hold on people. I mean, it's a kung fu grip on people. The streets do. And
exactly.
You had a choice. Now your fiance went to jail for murder. You had a choice because you was out there too. You could have said, okay, look, I'm gonna continue to stay out there. I'm a little pissed off because he in jail. I gotta do this. Okay, the streets. Whatever. I'm repping the street. But you decided to rep yourself. All right. You decided to say, well, hey, all of us can't be in there. We got little one to set an example for.
Right.
Somebody got to be there for her. All right.
Right.
You did the damn thing, girl. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
You just don't know it when you really turn around and you if you want to look back and look at the great things, the steps that you've taken to get to where you're at right now. Look at those steps, not what what you had all those things, because you're going to get those things. They're going to come because you want them and you're working towards them. So continue going forward. And if you look back again, look at the good things that you've done. You stopped the cycle. You're not in jail. For some of those things. You have stopped that cycle. And you're going to make sure, by example, that your daughter is not going to go through that same cycle.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah. Robert says this is one of many African American people making the right decisions in life.
Yes,
proud of you, my sister. Always know you are not alone.
Amen.
See,
great support. Great support. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
And I love this because see how I met Jadonna was she ended up coming to the Cure seminar, and when she came. I just love what she was doing. You know what I mean? I love what she had and everything that was going on. But see, you never really know what's behind the person.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You never know what's behind the person. You see what a person can produce. You know what I mean? But you don't know what it took for them to be able to produce that material.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So behind everybody who ends up producing something, manifesting greatness, you best believe there's always a story behind that. And what I love about Jadonna's story is just the fact that that's a hell of a lot of adversity. Let me tell you something. I couldn't go through. I wouldn't even be able to handle a lot of the stuff that you went through. Some black people would say I was born with a little bit of a silver spoon. I was spoiled. I got a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I didn't know what it really was to struggle until later on in my life as I got older. You know what I mean? So that's stuff I had to learn. I had to persevere through that on my own. But my story isn't even a third, not even an eighth of what you had to go through. You got a lot of teaching to do, girl. I'm telling you, a lot.
And that's the amazing thing, though. That's
a lot of people fake. A lot of people fake like they was in the street and this and that, and can talk the real. Okay, but put them out there. They can't hang. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. That's when their tragedy gonna start. Okay, when they out there faking it.
Right? Say that exactly.
Yeah, true.
Go ahead, Jeannie. You were trying to say something?
I was just gonna add that most people that go through a tragedy like Jadonna, we get to a fork in the road and we have to make a decision. Which direction are you gonna go at that point? While you're going through this. Some people choose the wrong thing. Some people choose, robbing, murder, suicide. But then other people like Jadana chose something else. She decided that I don't want this life to be my daughter's life. And that's one of the reasons that I made some of the choices I made when I looked at my children and I said, I don't want them to think this is the way life is supposed to be. So I really commend you, Jadana, for the choice that you made, because you could have stayed on the same track you were on.
That's right.
I agree too. Cause like even with when I was coming up, my mom was in and out of prison and jail. And I was just the type like, I think I'm gonna go to college so I can learn about the criminal justice system. But I don't want nobody to tell me when I can get up and when I gotta go to sleep. So I like my freedom.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, we used to have a motivational, those motivational speeches. Hey, ain't no women in prison, man. What you going there for?
Let me ask you, Jadana, what did you do with the writings that you started at the age of 10?
For a while, I ain't show nobody. When I started attending Ottawa Hills High School, I would let the seniors read my stories.
Okay.
So I was like this thugged out nerd, you guys, like really. And I would carry my notebook everywhere. And one day she became my mentor. Her name is Jamie Embry, and she became my mentor, and I let her read it. And she passed it around, and then after that, it became a weekly thing. Everybody wanted my notebook to read my stories.
Wow. Okay.
And it was kind of crazy because I would write some nasty stories. But the story was, I never knew nothing about the stories I was writing. So
now we talk.
I didn't want nobody to know, but I never knew. You know, at the time I was still a virgin. But that was the seniors. Here I am. I'm a sophomore in high school. They want to read my stuff, so I'm gonna keep on writing.
You gonna keep funking it up.
You're gonna give them something to read.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I would pass that composition notebook around and pass it around.
I want to see some of your old composition notebooks.
What about the public stuff, Greg?
And it was just like I was excited because they wanted to read them, but I never looked at it like this would be my career. It was something that I like to do. Like writing just was my thing. I could sit down and I could create a happy ending, bad ending, or if I had a situation in the streets that came out and I didn't like the way it came, I could write about it and I could change it. I can't change the streets and how the game go. You know, I can only play the cards that's dealt to me. But when I'm writing, I can create however I want it to be. I was 16 years old when I lost my first friend to gang violence. And that changed my life forever. And to this day, I can picture us sitting at the park and talking. We supposed to have matching Jags by now. Well, you know?
Wow.
And he got killed. And that was my turning point, where my stories began to mean something to me. I still wasn't ready to publish, but they meant something to me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was ready to publish. Trust me, they meant something to you. They're ready to publish.
Robert says the streets are so different now. Like I stated, some people talk the talk, but actually going through it is a whole different animal. He also says that your story, your book, is a bestseller waiting to happen.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Kudos to you. Go ahead, Marcel.
So when did you decide to really start writing the books and to get them published?
My first two books I published, which is When the Tables Turn and The Streets Love No One, I wrote those when I was 17 years old. I didn't publish my first book until 2016. Only because I let my cousin read them. And a week later, I want to say she pulled up and she gave me 2 envelopes. True story, 2 envelopes. One of them was just a regular printed copy of my book. The other one was an edited copy. You know,
Okay.
And I said, well, what is this? And she said, you really need to do something with this. At the time, I had just went through the situation with my house, and my whole life got turned upside down. And I'm like, I'm not thinking about books right now. Right now, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. And she said, but you really need to let people read what you writing. And I kept telling her, I don't want to do that. You can make a lot of money off this. And I told her, I don't write for money. So I'm not interested. 2 weeks later, things came about, and she talking me into talking to another cousin, and they convinced me to publish my first book.
Okay.
And that's how my book got published.
There you go.
But you know
Yes.
that is something else. You start thinking about that. You know, you pray to God. Oh God, I need a miracle. I need a miracle. Here your cousin come up with your book. You know, set up for you, and all you have to do is reach out and grab your, grab your blessing and rock on. You know.
Exactly.
So
And
Tiara
you
Johnson
get
just joined us. Tiara, what's up?
Hi, Tiara.
Hello, hello.
That's
She
my
gonna freeze
fault
too.
because I thought that was the link to send for them to see the video, you guys. That's my fault for them. I didn't, it was two different links,
That's
and I'm
okay. The
sorry.
more, the
No,
merrier,
Yeah.
Jadonna. We invite
fine.
people to come on and join us.
So I'm
It's
just letting, but those two are my main two that Tara probably at work trying to catch it, but that's my fault.
She froze.
That's
It's no
okay.
Tiara.
problem.
We're glad to
Jeff, you were
have
saying
everyone
something?
on.
Yep.
You were saying something, Jeff?
Oh, I was thinking a little something, but I could say this though. This was the thought that I had on my mind as she was talking. You know, we got to look at how triumph happens too. This was through her creativity. You know what I mean? Let's think about that, people. This was through her creativity. And it's funny how your family saw the gift that was inside of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Donna, like your family saw the gift that was inside of you and said, you need to do something with this. You need to cultivate this. You know what I mean? You have something that people need, you know? Because the thing is, your story always has to be told. And some people can talk it, you know what I mean? Some people can write it like you did. But think about how many other people are out there that don't have that extra push. You know what I mean?
Right.
That don't have that extra outlet. And even if they do, they just say they thought that first thought that you had. Well, I don't want to write this for money. I don't want to do this. I'm good. I'm not thinking about it. And then it just goes a dream deferred. You know what I mean? You didn't allow something that you didn't even know that could be your dream to get deferred. I'm telling you, man.
It's crazy because that was never, growing up, I wanted to be a video producer. Growing up watching videos on BET, I hated that the video never matched the song lyrics. That used to be my irritating thing. Like growing up and living in a household with my grandparents, I didn't have nothing but BET. So it was just like I hated seeing videos that didn't match the lyrics of the song. So I never
Talking about
thought that.
sinking, or
Like
just that they didn't match the
it's just like the
No,
concept
you're
of the
talking about
song, and then the video
yeah.
is totally
the
different than
concept,
what they
the
singing about,
content.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So it
got
was
you.
just like I hated that growing up. And I said, when I get older, I'm gonna be a video producer and I'm gonna make sure the lyrics match the video and we gonna make sure, but I never thought I'd be writing books.
But Jadonna, your Jag is coming. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
It's coming.
Probably already got it, dude. We don't
I was
know.
gonna ask, do you already have it?
Did you already get the
You
Jag?
know what? With everything like that, when you go into tragedy, I should say, you're gonna be angry, you're gonna be sad, you're gonna be depressed, because you're human. All of this stuff happens, okay? And you got to let yourself feel all of that, but you don't have to rush through it. You got to take your time. It's a process, right?
That's right.
You got to accept it because it did happen. You just accept it, and although we didn't want it to happen, it happened. But here you are. You did your thing. It's done. There's nothing you can do to change it. You move on. You just keep it going and keep just like you did. All right. Like I said, I couldn't go through what you went through and make the right choice. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been still out there. Or I'd have been Pookie. I'm sorry.
I was so ready to stay, but it was just like when he went to jail, it was just like that was my Clyde. So how can I do this without him? It was that's all I was thinking. Like how can I do this without him? How can I stay out here? Who's gonna protect me? Because a lot of things happen. Being a girl of the group, shooting dice out here with the boys in the shootouts on the block. Like I enjoyed that lifestyle for a long time. And I would never deny that. If people ask me, can you do it again? Would you do it differently? No, because the relationships and the bonds that I created with the
I was
people
going to
that
say
I
the
know,
family.
I wouldn't want to change that for nothing in the world. It's a lot of them I would, but the ones that genuinely, I wouldn't change it for the world. And then I feel like my friends didn't die for nothing. I lost 6 close friends to gang violence. And it was like at a young age, it started at when we were 16 years old, where we should be thinking about graduating high school, going to prom. We worried about getting shot at, fighting every day. Are we going to eat today? Are we going to be able to fit in with the crowd that got everything? My life ain't no different than a lot of people. I can't tell nobody your story but my own.
It is different from a lot of people, okay? Because a lot of people did not go through it. And when I say go through it, let me rephrase that. They didn't come through it. All right.
There
you
go.
went through it and came through it. A lot of people didn't. So your life is different from a lot of people. And we have you got to accept that. We're going to give you your flowers here today. We're going to make sure you're special. You're special.
That's just like I came to the expo, right? I came to Indiana. I drove my car. I came. My car right now, my head gaskets done blew. It was my fault because I didn't get everything checked before I took the chance to come to Indiana, but I couldn't miss that opportunity because we don't get those opportunities often.
Right.
So I'm not upset at the situation of, now I got to get this car fixed. Now I got to do this and this and that. No, because at the end of the day, this might be beneficial for my baby.
There you go.
So if it took me to have to pay extra for that trip I took for a couple hours, I'm okay.
And trust me, you remember every bit of it.
And Greg, you made a comment. You said something to the fact that you wouldn't have been able to do it. And that's something that a lot of people say. If this happened to me, I wouldn't be able to do that. I just want to die and things of that nature. She is a living example of that. Yes, people go through tragedy and they're able to triumph, go through that storm, get to the other side and triumph over it. So never say never. Something I tell people all the time. Unless you really go through a storm, you really might not be able to find out what your purpose is.
Right.
God puts you through the storm to build strength in you. Yes. So that you can be a blessing and a vessel to others.
That's facts, Marcel. Thank you for putting that out there, right? Because you're absolutely right. A lot of people say that. And I think that's the and I'm wrong for saying it as well. That's the I give up part of it, all right? When they say that, I couldn't go through that, okay? Yeah, I think everybody would whatever God puts in front of you, it's meant to teach you a lesson. God does nothing wrong, all right, period. So nobody can ever think that the things that we go through are our fault, all right? Because we didn't follow the path that God had in store for us. So, it's amazing. And I'm so glad we're doing this show. And Jadonna, thank you for coming on because it's an inspiring.
Thank you for having me.
It's just so inspiring to hear that story and to see where you're at right now. It could have easily been something else, someplace else. I mean, Marcella could have crashed and burned. When her son got killed, Gina, to lose your soulmate. That could have been was supposed to be your soulmate. could have been easy. That could have been a mental thing. Okay, you know, Mo, I know you've gone through stuff like Coach. I know you've gone through stuff. I've gone through things as well. All right, but you know, look at us, Black people. Look at us, even light skinned people. Marcy, look at us.
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel like everything that you do, that you go through, is to mold you and who you are.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be the same person had I not gone through the things that I went through. I may not have been as strong as I am, you know. You know, and I have to look at them and say, this was only for the better, and that's what makes me not dwell on some of the negative things that I went through in my life, because those are the things that made my character.
You guys are living testimony.
Exactly.
I admire each and every one of you guys. Okay, seriously, all right, because it takes a certain amount of strength. It takes God's patience, and I'm telling you, oh my God, it's ridiculous. Chris Lane says it was planned. We are actors and actresses in God's movie interpretation of life. Absolutely,
that's right, Chris.
You know, something like go ahead.
Go ahead, Gina.
No, I was going to ask Jadonna if she would give us a small glimpse of her book. You know, just a synopsis of what the book is about.
Loyalty and Envy is my first self-published book. I've been working with Matthew Santana Jr. He's helping me learn how to become a self-published author. As I say, I'm not a Harvard student. I am, when I say from the streets, I'm not a 4.0 student. I did graduate with a 3.0 because I had to. They gave me a choice. You either graduate on time, do what you got to do, or you know, in my day and time, being a fifth-year senior was a big deal. These kids today, they don't care. I don't understand it. But in my time, I graduated 2007 when I was supposed to with a 3.0.
All right.
It took some work. I went from AB student to 0.0 grade point average. Like, just, I don't want to do it. You know, I shut down on the world. So Loyalty and Envy, all my books take place in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because I feel I can't write about another city. I can include them in my story, but this is where I'm from. This is what I know. So it's only right that I talk about Grand Rapids. It's about two sisters. Loyalty and Envy are their names. And revenge for their mother's death. Growing up under their mother was like a big time drug dealer. So was their father, but they had to grow up without their father. You got to read the book to figure out why. But so many challenges come upon them. You got one sister that don't want no parts of it.
Don't give them too much now. Don't give them too much. Let them read the book. Let them read
the book. I can say this.
Hey, it sounds good already. I'm sitting on.
You got one sister that don't want this lifestyle, but it's in her. And then you got another sister that craves and loves this lifestyle.
And if you want to hear the rest of it, you go to
Amazon and order Loyalty and Envy by Jadonna Mathis.
And that is why he's teaching you how to self-produce your book, because Amazon is taking all of your money.
Yeah. And the crazy part about it is, like I say, I don't know. I'm learning. My first publisher was family. I got done really bad, you know, and this is my first time I can actually say I got my rights back, my manuscript back. I've been happy because I want to republish when the tables turn. I feel that's my favorite book. And then my second publisher, it didn't go as I thought it would go. And I'm going to republish that book too, because now I have my own LLC, which is I'm working on building my own company, which is Where My Pen Leaks Fire. That's mine.
Can you repeat that again?
You can't.
Where My Pen Leaks Fire.
When your pen leaks fire. Go on, girl.
LLC. Yes.
There you go.
Hey, is there a movie in
Where
the future?
My Pen Leaks Fire. I would
Chris
love
said,
a movie.
Let's talk. I'm in that movie. I'm with her in that because I'm gonna help her direct that book.
I'm gonna produce the movie. Let's go.
I'm in the process of trying to work on how to learn how to write scripts. Like I say, y'all, I'm just a girl from the hood trying to make it out. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm this educated person on everything and
but
all
you
that.
are.
I'm learning as I go. I'm just a real person, you know.
Humble.
I'm learning. I'm learning. That's the
you know
thing.
what,
I will never
Jadonna?
say I know. I'm
You know
learning.
what? God is bringing the people, aligning the people that you need in your life right now, whether you know it or not. He is aligning the people in your life to get you where you need to be.
You're gonna get
Sometimes
there.
we don't see it, but we'll look back and say, wow, this person, and they could be here for a season.
Yes.
But they are there for a reason to help progress you.
And I can agree because that's how I met Matthew Santana Jr. Because I was not giving him a chance. I was done. I met him through Black Authors United group on Facebook, and I made a post, a long post, like I'm done. I quit. I'm not doing this no more. Everybody want to try to get over on me, use me, play me. I'm done. Ain't no more writing. I'm done. I told y'all this was a hobby. Y'all got me trying to make it a career. I was done. Like I had gave up like completely. You want no talking me out of it. I hadn't wrote for a year. I was done. And I made that post and he reached out to me one day and he just was like, if you need me, here's my number. And I'm just like, and I'm talking to my little brother and I'm like, I don't know who this man is, but I don't know why he just gave me his number and said this. And he was like, well, who? And we go to his page on Facebook and I said, well, it say it's this, bro, but I don't believe it. Anyway, I kept on doing what I was doing. And he wrote me again, like, I'm just telling you, if you need me, let me know. I got you. And I'm like, okay. I let a couple of days go by. He was steady hitting me and steady hitting me. So I finally answered the phone and I called him and I'm like, what's up, man? It's Jadonna. What's up? You know, like, you keep hitting me. And he was like, I read your post and I seen this and I want to offer you this class. And I said, well, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm a single parent. My fiance in jail. I got a lot going on. I'm trying to work 2 jobs. I don't got time for this. And he was like, no, God led me in your direction. I want you to take my class and I want you to take my class for free.
Yeah, that's what I said.
For free?
All
And I'm
right,
like,
then.
oh no. My brother like, sis, just give him a chance. Give him a chance. And I gave him a chance and here I am. I published my first self-published book and me and Matthew have developed a friendship. We talk oftenly and I'm like, Matthew, I don't know about this. And he'd be like, look, you can do it. I'm telling you. So when I came to Indiana, he convinced me to come to Indiana. I was nervous. I sat in the car until like the last 3 minutes before they started. And I'm like, I can't do it, y'all. My brother said, I ain't going in. My 2 brothers, I'm not going in. We're going to sit in the parking lot. And they sat in the parking lot the whole time. And I'm just like, oh my God, y'all, I can't do this. And it was just like the first time ever having this experience outside of my city. And it was just like, I felt so welcome. Once I opened my mouth, I was nervous. But when I seen they was listening, and then Jeff approached me at the end and he was like, look, I want you to come on the show. And I'm just like, oh, you know, like what? You know, so it's just like, it's crazy
We have
because
to read this comment though. Robert said, I just added her book to my Amazon cart. Love. Always know that choices can be changed, family. That's support right there. That is support.
Girl, you know, I feel good right now, you know, and then I feel good when my family call me. Like, we watch shows like P Valley, The Shy, and they be like, well, you need to hurry up and write something. And I'll be like, man, if I was the writer, this how I would have did it. Like, man, I know what's finna happen for it's finna happen because I'm a writer, you know, so it's like, it just feels good that people are interested in reading my stories because my story is my story. You know, I write urban fiction and I haven't wrote my story yet because I'm like, do I really want to share my story? Is they ready for Jadonna's story? But it's just the whole point. Like, I would never give up. God gave me a daughter and he slowed me down because I was on the fast track.
They're ready
I
for
was on the fast track.
Yep.
And if I wouldn't have had a child, I'd probably still be on the fast track. I chose my baby over the streets. Not a lot of people do that.
That's right.
You know,
you have an amazing story.
You do.
Yeah, Marcel.
Okay, at this time, each day we take time
put some
out.
salsa in it, Marcella. Yeah, put some fire in it. You got to put
at
some
this time, every day we take time out to redirect,
Is that fire? Hold on, Marcy. Hold on, Marcy. Is that fire?
I got the violin out.
Come on, we need
some
fire.
Jesus.
Come on. Let's go.
Fire.
Rick,
all right,
hold
up.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Okay, there you go. Let's go.
Redirect, regroup, and refocus with our life coach.
Let's put some life coaching in it.
Boom. All right, let's get it. So, real quick, y'all, I want to tell a brief story. There is a woman by the name of Sydney McLaughlin. Now, if you all don't know that name, write it down. Sydney McLaughlin. She is at the age of 22 years old. And what she did was she broke her world record in the 400-meter hurdles. Not once, not twice. 3 times is enough, but she did it 4 times. So the question I have for you, are you ready for your world stage? Are you ready to perform on the world stage? It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of perseverance. It takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of repetitive structure in order to get ready for your world stage. If you all don't know what a 400-meter hurdle race is, that's one of the hardest races in track because you're told that you have to run 1 lap around the track and you have to jump over, I believe it's 10 hurdles around the track. And when she broke her record, I want to let y'all know this. She actually would have gotten 4th with that time in the 400-meter. Put that into perspective, people. I probably don't have a lot of track heads who watching, but for some of y'all who are watching, she ran a 400-meter time when she had to jump over something 10 times. So those obstacles that you have in front of you, those things that you think are stumbling blocks, they're not stumbling blocks at all. They are designed for you to run right through them so that you can go ahead and you can break your next record. You don't have to do it 4 times like Sydney did, but at least if you do it 1 time, you've at least achieved your goal.
Mm-hmm.
That is the life coach, Jeff.
All right,
yeah.
Yeah.
He has a podcast. Check him out on Mondays on his podcast. All right. Redirect, regroup, refocus. That's the life coach. Let's get into it. All right.
That's right.
Jeff never invited him on the show. And he said, for you, Donna, the baby came for a reason. Man, you know what? There's a show that's Jadonna, there's a show that we support wholeheartedly. It's called That's Why I'm Here. It's a show that gets people to talk about from being from tragic means, bringing it out to triumph. Okay, let's take a look at that promo real quick. Let's go.
He's creating a platform for everyone to come and tell their story of how they turned tragedy into triumph. And everyone has a story to tell. Get ready to be motivated and inspired on That's Why I'm Here. So get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, your talk show host, Jamie McGrone.
Hi, I'm Jamie McGrone from That's Why I'm Here.
All right.
And Jadonna, you know what? Everything that you told us today, everything that you've gone through, everything that you that you've manifested, right now, that's why you're here. That's why you're here. You're here to inspire. You're here to educate people and you're here to as a living testimony to let people know, hey man, look, I done been through the trenches, but you come through it. And that's what you've done. All right. We man, look, oh my God. So inspirational. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
I invite you not, Chris, to come on the show. Come on.
Chris, what do you think? I mean, I know you've been listening, man. What do you think about all of this?
I mean, it's an inspirational story, man. Like I said earlier, man, we all actors and actresses in God's movie. Like stuff don't just what's the saying?
Happen.
Just don't happen.
Yeah.
They happen justly.
Right. So I mean, it's all a movie, and Donata, the reason your child came when it came, because they saw the spiral. God saw the spiral you was going down. It needed to bring you back. You know what I'm saying? And you made the right decision. You know what I'm saying? Which he knew you was going to make the right decision. So he put that in front of you for you to be able to get over that obstacle that you were in and then what you were doing to get you back on track the way you need to be on track to.
Yep.
It's not going to be easy. It ain't never going to be easy. Okay, I don't care. You can look at everybody up here. Where we at right now, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Okay,
man.
And God gives us opportunities to learn, so that we won't make the same mistakes. We learn. We go through things, but we learn. Like you said, that baby was given to you. It was blessing. All right. Because again, if you didn't have that baby,
ain't no telling where I'd be right now.
I'm telling you, I say
it's part of what you basically answering your blessing, if you think about it. It was a child that they brought in, but in order for you to get them brakes pumped, God said, "Okay, I'm going to answer your blessing, but the rest is on you."
Yep. Yeah, that's what I feel, because I was the one against
what you build out. Right.
I was the one against keeping the baby. I didn't want no baby.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Just you hit
Well,
this
Jidana,
slap you in the mouth and says, "Share that." All right.
you prayed for it. Here we go.
He said, "Oh, you want to gang bang and sell drugs? I got something for you."
Exactly.
Well, Jidana, I want you to send your book for Distinguished Author Skill. I know we talked about you submitting your book, and I'm going to waive the application fee for you. I want you to drop that book in the mail tomorrow so we can get it, because the deadline, I extended the deadline into the 7th. So I want you to put that book in the mail so that we can get it and I can get it over to the readers.
Okay. I definitely would do that. Just send me the information where I need to send it to.
Awesome. Do that.
And I can get that over to you.
Cool.
All right, so now what you want? What else you want?
Beautiful. Jidana, you made a comment that you wanted to do video producing. What was that you said you wanted to do?
I would love to be a video producer, but my main thing is I would love to do series, movies. Like I want to turn my books into films. I want to learn how to script write.
Oh, okay.
I would love to one day become a national bestseller author on top of producing, writing, and directing a movie.
Go ahead.
You know, when those blessings come, those people come out the woodwork. So, you know,
So
whenever you start winning awards for your books, and somebody wants to turn it into a movie, they'll write it for you and probably pay you for that. You know, you'd be surprised what happens when you get award-winning books.
it'd be so surprising to me when I hear about these things, because like I said, I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I love my city, but this is this is the most hated city. It's rough.
Yes.
Really?
Nobody wants to see nobody do better than them. So when it comes to writing books and stuff like that, I don't get as much support in my city as I should. But I get more love from strangers than I would people that know me. And then when people know me, it's just mainly about what I can do for them or what I got for them. Or so when I get opportunities presented to me, I've been let down so much. I'd be excited, but then I'd be hesitant. I want to get to the point to where I meet the type of people where I'm not hesitant or second guessing these people, and that wants to see me elevate. Because growing up here all my life, born and raised, it's like, okay, people tell you this and people tell you that, and then you're like, okay, and then you like, when the time comes, and it's like, my own family tried to steal my book, you know? So it's just the whole point. I done been through a lot. So it's just like, okay, Jidana, am I supposed to be excited about talking to them, or should I be like, wait it out? But I'm so blessed that God put y'all in my path.
Now I'm gonna tell you, you'd be surprised how many people want to douse your blessing out. Turn it off. Turn that fire off. Douse that light out. What you got to do is you got to learn to contain it yourself and have that light on the inside. So when you do get your breaks and they big, your whole thing is to grow, to get, not necessarily to run away, but get away to a better place where people appreciate you. Appreciate your art, appreciate your work. I mean, that might be in California for all we know. When you step into a new life, when you step into new things, you have to change. A lot of people say, I don't want to change. Well, guess what? You got to make a change for something different to happen. Period.
Yes.
And I'm willing to change, but something I can say that I realized about myself, I've been so used to things going wrong. I was afraid of success.
That is,
A
that
lot
is
of
the
people
Achilles
are.
heel a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
you ain't
people
by
are.
yourself on that one. That's where that crab in the barrel stuff come from. They're afraid to see somebody go up because you're gonna be down.
And a lot of times it is your family that is not supporting you. The ones that's closest to you, there are definitely the ones a lot of times that do not support you, and that's okay. But you keep moving and keep doing what you need to do. Like Life Coach Jeff said earlier, it's a mindset.
Yeah.
You have a lot of things that you want to do. Don't think that because I'm in Grand Rapids, I come from Grand Rapids, I had a crazy background, that you cannot do it. You can do it. You see how you're doing with these books? You can do those video producer. You can do all that stuff that you said you wanted to do. Start researching these things. Start researching different schools and things of that nature. There are grants, there's scholarships. There's all kind of things out there, resources that can help you do these things. Think positive, keep moving. How one of our panelists say, rise up. You can do it and you will do it.
And that's my main thing that I'm trying to do is stay positive. I ran into an old principal at McDonald's, and when he seen me, he told me, I thought you would be dead or in prison by now.
Wow. Did he actually say that?
No, he did. And he
To your
told,
face.
in my face, he did. And no lie, no nothing. And I told him, I said, well, you know what? I'm a mother and a published author now.
I'm
And
still here.
Right, pick this pace up.
I've been to jail, and it was 2021, and I did go to jail. I did my little 23 days, for fighting in 2010. I ain't been in trouble since.
So that was something way back.
But he seen me. That was our first time seeing each other since high school, and that's all you had to say to me.
I was gonna say that's what he had to say.
Right. That's
But
crazy.
you know what? After he picks his face up off the floor.
Yeah, the one thing is that the story that you have, Jordana, everyone has that story. Not being supported by family and close friends, being supported by people you don't know first. People that's close to you ain't gonna support you until people don't know you start supporting you, and then try to say they was there for you the whole time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Everyone being a, I don't want to say violent adolescent, but basically getting into trouble, being mischief through our teenage years. We all have been through that. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much everybody on this panel, probably besides Marcy and Jana, has probably had someone, old teacher or someone said that you're not going to make it in life. They tell you that when you're in school.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I'm
never
saying?
had a teacher say
You're
that.
not, you're not going to make it in life. You're going to be in jail or dead by the time you're 21 if you keep doing the same thing you're doing. But what they forget is they were in the same shoes that we were in as when we were younger, and growth happened. And once growth happens, it changes your life. You have the decision to stay young and act young, or grow up and face adult life.
That's right.
And everybody on this panel has done that, including yourself.
Yeah.
So your whole story, the same story in Grand Rapids, Michigan, is the same story in Gary, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, Bronx, 5 Boroughs, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much our story.
Real crap.
That's our culture's story. Everyone, if you heard every story from everyone on this panel, if we did a story right now, it'd be exactly like your story.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Similar.
You'd be surprised if people.
And you know, To add to that, though, a lot of people need to hear your story because a lot of people are going through it and they don't know how to get out of it.
That's true.
Or they don't know they've gotten out of it and they don't know how to pick themselves up.
Right.
We'll stay out.
They probably heard it come from somebody else before, but they weren't paying no attention. You probably that vessel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're probably the right vessel that needs to retell it again, and then something just gonna click.
Yep, your story is going to help them be able to identify those kind of people.
Yeah,
and you have to you have to look at it this way too. Your story is an inspiration to someone that's close to you, and an inspiration to someone that you don't even know.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yes,
and you didn't, even though you came out of it, you didn't just kind of like come out of it and stay stagnant. You're continuing to grow as well. And you know, some people just get out of it and then just stay right there, but you're continuing to grow. And as you go forth in speaking, your speaking engagement, hint, your speaking engagements. You motivational speaker.
I would love to be a motivational speaker because I feel I have something to say.
Oh, you do.
You do.
Because
you definitely do.
I haven't made it out yet, y'all. I'm still going through it. I'm still living through it.
You're going to go through it
for
for
people to understand that it's not I made it out. I want people that still can change and still go through it. Because just because I changed my path don't mean the direction is still right. You feel me? It's just I'm not doing what I used to do.
Right.
Jadonna, the thing about it is you're learning how to continue those steps through life, and you're always going to go so-called through it. I mean, it's going to be from bills to kids. When your kids get to be teenagers, it's going to be something you're going to go through. You're learning how to make those steps, and it's going to be forever, as long as you're on this planet.
Yes.
Well, you got to look at it this way, Jadonna. You have made it out because you're not who you used to be.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You might not, the situation that you're in probably look the same or don't feel like you're out. But you're, like you said, you changed. So that means you made it out of the person that you used to be. Now the person that you are now, 5 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, yo, I'm different from that person. It's all about growth. You don't stay like when you're a kid up to you're an adult, you don't stay the same size during that time. You grow. You know what I'm saying? And with grow comes experience from life lessons. That's all it is. That's all experience is life lessons. So you learn from those lessons and you basically pass that story on to other people, but you use it to help better yourself in everything that you're doing and everything that you do.
You're right. You're right, because at 16, I should have been thinking about high school and having fun. But instead, like I told you, I lost a close friend to me from gang violence, and we was planning a funeral. He died 4 days before his 17th birthday, you know? So I got friends that didn't make it to see the ages that I am now and never will.
That's what happened to me. My best friend was shot in the head in the valley. Basically 6 months after we graduated from high school.
Wow.
Chilling with his cousin. The dude in the backseat owed his cousin money, and he thought they was gonna kill him, so he pulled a gun out and shot my best friend in the back of his head, and ended up shooting his cousin, my best friend's cousin, also.
And that's
so like I said, those type of stories, like I said, those type of stories that's our culture. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
And they want to know why we're so timid and have PTSD, because that's all we see, all we know. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to the army to have PTSD.
No,
growing up in the hood will give you PTSD.
Right.
It will. It will.
Sometimes,
it will definitely
we
reflect your life forever. It will change you, and it will make you grow up faster than what you need to, because the pain that you encounter. You know, my friend, we grew up. We was in the trenches together. You know, and the day that he gave his life back to God, that night he got killed.
Well, you know what? You're gonna see him again later on. I hope. Trust me, if he gave his life to God, you're gonna be there and you're gonna be there. You made a change, sis. You made a change. Keep turning them corners.
That's what it's all about.
Yep. And to
growth.
piggyback off what Chris was saying.
Oh, my fault, Jeff. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say to piggyback off what Chris was saying about you have made it out. Yeah, you got to remember though, it's your mindset. That's why it all circles around back to mindset. You're mentally not where you were before. And that's the biggest and the hardest part of the game.
Yes.
That is tough for people to come out of. That mental breakdown of where they at physically. Like you have to recognize that you're physically in that position. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people who just content and they don't want to accept the fact that they're in a position that's causing more harm than good because they've got immune to it. They're in it. So they like, okay, look, it's cool. We just gonna take this day by day. But you got out of that mindset. So even though you're still there physically, you took the steps mentally. So because mentally, that's what's gonna get you out.
Yeah.
Mentally, that's what's gonna get you out. The
And
physical won't be there every day.
the other part of that is,
Christopher.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
sorry about that. The other part of that, the other part of that is to basically, it's pretty much you, like we said, the mental part of the aspect. People think that being rich financially is making it out, but it's not. That's not making it out. You know what I'm saying? Making it out is basically having that peace of mind where you can get up and do what you need to do every day. You know what I'm saying? You
look over your shoulder, not be worried.
Exactly. That's making it. You know what I'm saying? Now all the other stuff, financial and all that stuff, that's an added plus. But once you're able to accept the fact that I'm at peace, I have peace of mind, all of that, that's when you show the growth. That's when you show everything about you that's on a whole nother level that's going to keep going higher. You know what I'm saying? Because you're never going to be stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Once you grow, you're never going to be stagnant. You're always going to increase your value as a person and what you bring to the table. You said earlier, people only deal with you because what you can help them out with or what they can get from you. We all on here have that story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody in the culture has that story. You know what I'm saying? We've been jerked over plenty of times in business deals from family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's our culture, and we live with it. And the way this show was created to tell stories, tell our stories, give our opinions on subjects. You know what I'm saying? Which went out to help other people. You know what I'm saying? We had people come on, we had people leave, we had all of that. You know what I'm saying? But it was for us to tell the story else.
And I'm honored that you guys wanted me to be on the show because I'm willing to share my story.
And we have learned from your story, and we're going to end here on that note. I think it was just such an inspirational show today, and we thank you for coming on. Everybody,
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Everybody, don't forget to check out BGHE tomorrow, 6 o'clock. You know, they had a 1 week, a 1 day hiatus.
Saturday.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow's I'm sorry. Saturday. And
pump brakes, man. Pump brakes.
That's going on Saturday. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. All right. It's always used to help people to get to a better place. All right. So if you're a musician, y'all need to tune into this one. Okay. Artists need to tune into a person. Tune into that shit. All right. For real. Like definitely. So Jadonna, we in the show, we go around the room and let everybody, give a piece of themselves. So we're gonna let you start off.
Like as far as a piece of myself, as far as what?
I'll give you an example real quick. Today's show is basically showing the growth and development as a person, as a human being, that you can't always be in the same place that you was in when you was up under your parents' roof. Our teenage years basically give us a chance to start to see the world on our own, even though we can't comprehend the world on our own. And the older we get, the more lessons come across, quote unquote, our desk or our path in life. And we just have to know how to get through them. So hopefully Jadana's story today touched some people out there that they can basically regroup, refocus. I forgot what's the other one, Jeff?
It's all right. Redirect, regroup, refocus. We'll get it right one day.
Yeah, we're gonna get it right one day, bro. We're gonna get it right one day. But yeah, no, we just try to help people out, man, and we bring people on so they can tell their story to help people out too. And like Greg said earlier, tune in Saturday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, BGHE Worldwide Music Podcast with myself, D Swayze, Haywire the Legend. This week we got Backwood Brad, which will be our first guest on the show. And we're gonna have fun. We back to our regular scheduled program. We're gonna have fun, yeah.
Cool. Yes, sir. Y'all need to tune in, okay? Now, Donna, your turn.
Well, I'm Jadana Mathis, author Jadana Mathis from Grand Rapids, Michigan. You can get any one of my books from Amazon, or you can reach me at Jadana the Author Mathis on Facebook. I learned a lot today. Also, I'm glad that I was able to come on here. If you feel you need to talk to me about anything, or if you feel that you are here by yourself, you are not by yourself. Trust and believe, you and me, we could talk about anything. There's nothing I haven't been through yet. So, like my auntie always told me, there's no such thing as halfway crooks. You either in or you out. And I'm ready to put myself in a better position all the way. And I'm so glad that I'm able to be on here today. And I hope that what I said to somebody can change your life too, because the streets love nobody. It took me a long time to learn that. And it was hurtful. Trust me. It's hurtful when you find out them streets don't love you. But I'm always here to talk to you if you ever feel like that's all you had, because I remember being in them shoes too.
Absolutely. Marcella.
First of all, Jadana, thank you for coming on our show today. We were truly blessed by your presence. People, support this young author, supporter. Also, storms don't come to stay. As you're going through a storm, make the right choices. You will get to the other side.
Thank you.
Life coach.
Hey, if you don't know by now, this is an amazing story. And the thing is, she has one of the strongest mental capacities of a lot of people that I have worked with and talked to on the daily. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, just that mindset, you know what I mean? If nobody got nothing out of this show, know that it takes mindset. And when you really out of it, you out of it mentally before you get out there physically.
That's called growth. That's exactly what that's called, growth. And you're going to continue to grow. As long as you do good stuff, you're going to continue to grow, period.
Thank you.
Gina.
Yeah, keep telling your story, Jadana. There's a lot of people who need to hear it, and you need to tell it. That's therapy right there. And you also need to keep telling it to push your book. Your book isn't going to sell itself. And I'm sure that, the people behind you and supporting you are telling you that. You have to find the avenues to get your book out there and in front of other people. That's why we developed the platform for Distinguished Authors Guild, so that we can help authors to elevate their books. But you keep talking about it and pushing it, and you're going to see how far that book is going to go. It's going to take you way further than you could have ever thought.
Like a good 7-seater Jag for all us to take a ride in too.
There you go.
You know what? You've shown people that you can go through something and you can make it. And as a result of your experience, you're a more cultivated person. You're more interesting, and you're more mature than you were when you started. The question you need to ask yourselves, everybody, is how are you going to use it? Are you going to keep that information and that wisdom that you learn, or are you going to give it to other people who are struggling to get through it just like you did and need to overcome? Why not pay it forward? Give that blessing to someone else, and keep these lessons. Use the pain that you've had and put forth some effort. And everybody, you're going to make it on the other side. Okay, just have faith. All right, and just make sure you pray. Pray to God, all right? He'll take you through it. I mean, like Chris said, each and every one of us have gone through something, right? But it's how you come through it that determines the type of person that you're going to be, all right? This has been a great week, all right? Jadana, again, we appreciate you. And anytime you want to come on here and talk with us, come on through, girl. You didn't have to black out like that.
I'm sorry. Somebody was calling. I had to erase them.
No, that's all good. All right. Hey, everybody, don't forget to check out my man's Jamie McGraw. That's why I'm here. This show right here we should just move it right on to the show right there. Okay. But it's been a great show. Thank you again, Jadana, for inspiring us.
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties, you guys.
No need to apologize.
It happens.
And Miss Gina, you got to send me the information where to send the book to.
I will.
Okay.
Don't forget, you guys, viewers, Saturday, 7:00. Tune in. We got to support Chris. He is doing an awesome job. Yes. And don't forget Sunday, Ron Reed. Views and opinions.
Yes.
Hey, we got a lot going on. We got a lot going on. And more to come. So keep your eyes and ears open.
Definitely.
Bring your tissue, okay? Yeah, DopelivenTV Network coming real soon, okay? You're gonna be shocked and surprised, but you're gonna also be entertained, all right? That's it for us, you guys. We're gonna see you next week. All right, that's been the show. We had a great time this week. We ended it. What's the question you have to ask now, Christopher?
Hey, did y'all talk about Brit?
No, but we have to.
We got to talk about that for these last 4 minutes, bro.
What?
What 4 minutes?
About Brittany Griner. About Brittany.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Man.
That is horrible.
About who?
The girl
Brittany
got
Griner,
in Russia.
WNBA player.
He was convicted today
for 9.5 years.
9.5 years in prison.
For a vape pen.
Almost to 10 years that they almost a maximum.
For vape.
For having vape pen in her bag.
That's I believe that's all politics to use her as leverage and things. That's all that is. But you know, and then like they said, so I was talking to someone earlier. Who's to say that they won't start swooping up other Americans if they make this?
Well, you better stay out of Russia then.
Because there's a lot of us out there. Just start scooping up Americans.
Well, you know what they're about to start doing in the U.S. is scooping up Russians.
Yeah, you know it's.
They gotta find somebody.
A few of them.
Gotta find somebody to replace that dude that they're trying to trade her for.
Yeah, she's not gonna be there 9.5 years. She'll be out because they're gonna swap him for two Americans that are in Russia, though.
Yeah.
But the real reason I said we needed to talk about it because of the comment that Donald Trump said.
Yeah.
You know what?
So
Don't get me started on that one.
That's a whole show, Chris.
Yeah, that's a whole show.
Monday.
More than 4 minutes.
I'll hold that.
45 minutes.
I'll hold that.
Yeah.
I'm game for whatever, y'all. But we can. Hey, there go Monday's show right there.
There it is.
Donald Trump.
And Marcy, I know you said don't date anything, okay? But
We done dated all through the show already. We're good.
At
the beginning, every last one of us.
All right.
We didn't date anything. We can say it like that because it's the end of the week. We can do that, all right. And anyway, when we pick the shows to do for repeat shows, we just go through and see the one that was on a Monday.
Well, we can't tell everybody what we're doing.
Well, you know,
I'm transparent. I told you, okay?
I need to mute him.
We may
be saying too much.
Real quick, we're gonna have to repeat shows because we're gonna be busy making sure that the network is coming through so that we can make you so we can give everybody these fresh shows. Okay, so
let me tell y'all something. If Steve Harvey can repeat a show on his morning show, why can't we?
Right.
It was dated. I heard a show yesterday, 2019. I'm just saying. Okay. And it was still good, too. I thought it was relevant.
We got things to do.
What year was that?
Things to do. We got things to do, and we're going to be busy, so sometimes we may not all come on, okay? Maybe two of us, maybe all of us, but then we may have to repeat a show. And if we do, charge it to our heads, not our hearts. We got a lot of good stuff coming for you guys. All right. So
guys, we have a lot of good stuff coming. So stay tuned. I'm telling you.
I can't wait to look forward to watching.
Stay strong,
it's
sis.
ridiculous.
You keep
Don,
doing your thing.
We're gonna let you know. We're gonna get firsthand.
Let me know. I can't wait to connect with all of you guys.
We got you, girl. Okay. But you might have to make that drive again because we got to get you on. That's why I'm here with Jamie.
Yeah. You know, let me know. Let me know, and I'll come.
We're gonna send her a gasket and some oil, okay, so she can.
What kind of tires?
It'll be fixed by then. Now, so you know,
not a gasket and some oil.
Mama got to get to work, so car gonna be fixed. You feel me?
Oh my goodness! No.
All right, y'all.
Oh man.
That's it
Thank
for
you
us.
for having me again. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem, sis.
Thank you for giving us the time and giving us your story. Okay, it's Dope Living TV Live, guys. We will see you guys next time. How about that,
Peace.
Marcella? We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Peace.